Elliotte Friedman confirming on the 32 Thoughts podcast on Monday that Sheldon Keefe will be staying as the head coach. What's your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's funny. It would be easy to, attack that and say they're running it back and they need to blow this thing up and more of the same, that type of thing. But I choose to be positive and think about, the fact that he's been there a few years now. He is experienced. He knows what has worked and what hasn't worked. And I think that it's nice to give a guy a chance to, analyze what happened, make the changes, build on what does work, and hopefully make the changes to what doesn't work. And I am under the impression that he's quite a good coach and that he is well liked in that room and well respected, and he puts in the time and the effort and the care. I hope that, the things I didn't like about him were certainly that the amount of ice time he gave to people who were detrimental to the score, to the team, and how loyal he was to certain players who just have absolutely no business being out there in the last few minutes of a game or a period. And we all know who we're talking about. And then also the way he was putting the lines in a blender and just could not come to any bloody decision on who should play with who. Those are the two things that bothered me a lot. And I hope this year that they're addressed. And if they are, then I'm all for giving this guy another trip around the sun, trying to get something done in Toronto.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for a variety of reasons. I think anytime somebody comes in, I think they have sort of a wait and see period or an analysis period. I think that's what you're going to see a bit from Brad Treliving, but I think it's so unique because he comes into a setting just direly needing a victory and hunger and wanting to do something substantial in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I like the fact that Brad Treliving is going to give him a shot. He also won't use one of his bullets because GMs always have bullets, what they can use in the chamber. And obviously, the first one will probably be changing the coach and bringing in somebody that he's familiar with. So that's probably something for down the road. But I think at the very least, he's going to give him a legitimate shot. But I think you're right. Like, I think when you look back at the body of work of Sheldon Keefe, he's had a lot of time to figure this out, and he hasn't. And I think there's some things that you probably want to see different. Having said that, to your point about, having favoritism in terms of some players, I think it's easy. You take some of those players away, and the majority of them are UFAs, and you throw new guys at him, right?
Yeah, for sure. That can change a lot. And I mean, it's, so many people are just like, fire Keefe and get rid of this. It's like, okay, well, you're in charge now. You're sitting in that captain's chair. Who do you bring in? Who's better? Like, you don't make a decision unless you know that you are going to benefit your team by making the decision. And it's easy to say, fire Keefe, he hasn't won the Stanley Cup. Okay, who are you bringing in? And why is he better? And is he proven? Is he unproven? Does he know the market? Does he know the pressure? Does he know the players? Does he have the respect? Does he know the systems? Does he know the background? The answer is probably no right now. And again, if, Paul Maurice was sitting in the weeds, I would make the change. I would fire Sheldon Keefe and hire Paul Maurice. I have liked that guy since he was in Carolina and Winnipeg, and I just like the way he thinks. I like the way he wins. I like the way he operates, but he's not available. And I think that plays a huge part in making a decision like that a lot of casual fans don't put any emphasis on. They just say, fire this guy. And then 2 weeks later, someone else is hired. Who the hell is this guy? It's just easy to pick everything apart, but decisions need to be made based on facts and availability of positive changes.
And it should be that way, right? I don't think it's about money. I mean, MLSC has all the money you could want in the world. I think, we're also hearing the fact that they're looking at talking extension, or they have already with Sheldon Keefe. That makes a lot of sense. They don't want to go into the year with a lame duck coach. If they have to fire him, they have to fire him. Again, money does not matter, but I think you're so right. People want to play armchair GM and say, hey, just can this guy. Well, okay, who are you going to hire? If you look out there at the coaching carousel this offseason, there were some names, but again, like, there isn't that one perennial name where like they have to fire Keefe to hire this guy.